the ultimate 10-piece formula to make a soul sample from scratch. I'm gonna use nothing but Logic stock sounds. Let's get into it. Okay, so when I say 10-piece, it's gonna be basically 10 tracks. And these tracks will be interchangeable, meaning if I have a vibraphone, you can replace that with organ, or maybe if you have a harp, you can use a guitar instead. So stuff like that can be interchangeable. So let's start with the drums. I'm using what's called vintage breaks. These are all stock sounds inside Logic. Basically, you want to just create a basic pattern. And what I did was I just finger drum this, and this is how it sounds. That's it. And then I put like a little drum roll at the end, just real simple, and you'll hear how that goes. That is a typical, like a Philly type of drum roll. You know what I'm saying? And when I say Philly, I mean groups like the Stylistics, the OJs, stuff like that. You know, Gamble and Huff Records. No quantization, none of that. Just straight real time. It does not have to be perfect at all. So we got that down. Notice the reverb also. All right, cool. So that's one down. The next part is your chord progression. How do you get a chord progression if you can't play? It's several sources you can use. You know, just Google chord progressions, get you some MIDI packs or whatever. For me, what I used was, shameless plug, my own book, ebook, which is called Piano Chord Progressions for Beatmakers. This right here, and I appreciate those who already have this book. I will leave a link down. Everything I'm using, I'll leave a link down below. All right, so I'm using this particular chord progression. It's the 6-chord progression. So for those that don't know, this is just a book of a bunch of chord progressions. You can copy my fingers, the chords, everything is laid down so you can see exactly what I'm playing. This is it. And I use a piano sound. So number 2, a piano. And this is what that chord progression sounds like. And I just played it live. That's it. That's all it is. That is the exact progression from the book. You could play it in any rhythm you want to, but I play it live because you want that live feel. I don't type in these notes. I mean, you can if you want to, but me, I feel it more realistic when I actually play it because it's going to have all the dynamics on how soft or how hard I play. So the next sound, and as I'm going, the key to this is sound selection. So that's why I'm going over these sounds one by one. Sound selection is very important, and you want to have mainly acoustic sounding instruments. Next thing is electric piano. So basically I took the same chords but replayed them. All right. See, I don't want to just drag, like just take your piano and then just drag it down and do, no, I don't want to do that. I want to replay it out because they had a full band. You had somebody on the organ, you had somebody on the piano, you had somebody on the Rhodes, all playing together. That's how I have it, because now when you have them together, it gives it a nice fuller sound. See that? So it's not playing exactly alike. That comes into play. I mean, that really makes a difference. Next sound, you got to have a bass. Now, again, these are all stock sounds. So what I decided to use was this stock mute electric bass. And the bass notes I chose were basically the bottom notes of all the chords. Notice I have some little passing notes in between those main chords, and you can kind of do that by ear. That just gives it some more movement, that's all. Next sound, vibraphone. Now you got to have a vibraphone. You listen to those 70s records, you're gonna hear a vibraphone, and the way a lot of those vibraphones are played are in octaves. If it's not a chord, it'll be in octaves of some type of melody. So the melody I'm playing is to go along with the chords, obviously. So let me play the melody. And notice each note is not played at the same time. I want y'all to get this. Notice how the top note comes in a little before the bottom note. See that? You don't want it to be like this, right at the same time. No, you don't want that. You want this. Hear the difference? That makes a major difference, trust me. It sounds cool. Again, these are all stock sounds. You can get way better sounds in this, but I'm just saying you can get away with just stock sounds. But to make this sound even more authentic, I want you to add this effect on it right here. Go to modulation, scanner, vibrato. Boom. This is without it. With it. You can copy these settings if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Can't even talk because I'm so excited. The next sound, glockenspiel. This is that bell sound. You got to have this, man. You got to have. And you know what it is. That's this right here. That high pitched bell sound. Okay. So again, when it comes to the melody, all I'm doing is kind of working off of what I hear from the chorus. Hear that? So you kind of use your ear to play whatever sounds good to you along with the chorus. Okay, next sound is the sitar. So I picked this sound called the Indian sitar because to me it's the better one out of the stock sounds in Logic. And all I did was play the exact same melody as I did for the glockenspiel. So that sounds like this. So you hear this sound in a lot of those 70s records. Alright? And again, it's the same melody as the glockenspiel, so I'll play them together. Next instrument is the harp. Now the harp is pretty interesting because there's an easy trick that you can do. It doesn't matter what key you're in. I want y'all to try this. This is very simple. Just try rolling all the black notes, and that's exactly what I did here. And then transpose it to the key that fits your song. Listen to what this harp sounds like. And then the last chord, I just played the last chord that's in the progression, just as a reminder, right? Diminished chord. So whatever chord you play, just play it again with the harp, and then kind of just roll it with your fingers. And I put a lot of reverb on this. Let me play it in context with the piano. So that one was real easy. I'll just roll my fingers on the black keys. If that does not match, like if you roll the black keys, just transpose it. You know, grab all those notes and just drag them down to the key it fits. This is assuming that your chord progression is in a minor key. Next sound, strings. You got to have strings is probably the most important. You got to have strings for this sound, man. And the strings, again, are the same chords as the piano. That's all it is. Notice there's a little bit more notes on the piano. Here's what I want you guys to get. The strings don't have to have that many notes as long as it's the same chord. So what I'm playing is the basic triads. See, there's just 3 notes. 3 notes. 3 notes. 3 notes. 3 notes. 3 notes. Everything was 3 notes. That's what a triad is for those that don't know. Try 3 notes. That sounds cool, but we're gonna take it up a notch. These strings are called the studio violins. I go over to my left, pull down where it says track. You notice this articulation set is set on studio strings. If it's not there, it says none. If it's there, make sure it's on studio strings and then studio violins. Hit letter E, and each of these chords can be changed to a separate articulation. I'm gonna show you what I mean. These first chords right here, Notice those are sustained notes, but I can change each one of these chords to do something different. So I can grab the first 2 chords, change the articulation. See where it says articulation, it says sustain. Use this drop down menu and bring it. You have all these choices. We want to choose tremolo, and now it sounds like this. Then it goes back. So all these notes can do something different if I want to. So let's say I want the next 3 chords to do something different. I don't know. Let's try spiccato. Let's see what that sounds like. The short notes. And then maybe for the last one, let's do a fall short. And that should sound like this. Last chord. Hear that? So now you just upgraded those strings just by changing the dynamics of each chord. Hear that? Now there's one other thing I want to do to these strings, and this takes it up a level. I'm going to hit the letter A, and I want to change the MIDI volume. Expression or MIDI volume, it's up to you. I'm going to go with the MIDI volume. And the reason is because I want to have it sound more realistic. So on these 2 strings with the sustained notes right here, I kind of want it to swell. So what you could do is this right here. Set the volume at a lower note value and have them swell up. Right? This is on some advanced type stuff right here. And this is kind of like automation, and I'll leave the rest alone. Hear that? So the 10th and final piece of the formula is to add some type of tape or vinyl sound effect. And again, these are all stock sounds. So I'm going to go over to where it says vinyl. To get to that, very simple. Hit your letter Y, just go to search, type in vinyl, and choose this one right here. Ibiza, I don't know if that's right, but anyway, choose this one. It's a sampler, and you can just play it in beat if you want to. So let's record that in, because I didn't even do that yet. I'm just playing on the beat, and it don't even have to be on beat. Everything together. See that? And again, these are all stock sounds, man. I had to do this video, man, because I've been watching a lot of these videos and I wanted to just get a little more in depth. A lot of things I have questions about. Like when I'm watching videos, I want to see how you did that. How does it sound like that? And then they skip that step out. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to be very clear. I hope that was clear. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And I hope that was helpful, man. And then once you have everything, you could just bounce it down and flip it. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to use the drums if you don't want to. I'll mute the drums and just go. And I can still flip that. So, for example, just take everything and then bounce it down. Control B and bounce it down. And now I have this guy. Let me drag it down. It sounds like a real sample, you know? Then I can throw that in sampler and chop that up and do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Change keys. Y'all know how we do. See what I'm saying? Slice it. Do what you do, bro. You know, do it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got it from there, you know. Y'all just do what you do. So I hope that was helpful, man. Again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I do have sample packs down below. I will leave links at the bottom of this video. And yeah, man, that's it. I'm sending peace and positive energy. Yeah.